Guess what time it is? It's time for another review. I think this is my new review dance. But have I got a treat for you, because today not only am I reviewing a product, but I am also comparing two different products. Are you excited? All right, I will get right to it. And I even wrote down some notes so that I don't forget what I wanted to say. Today, I am reviewing the Irobot Roomba E5. Now I know this might look familiar because I have reviewed an Irobot Roomba before. This is my second Irobot Roomba. It is a different model, so I thought it would be fun to compare the two different models. This one is also a lot pricier, so we're gonna figure out whether or not it's actually worth it to spend a little bit more money. All right, so let me remind you guys, I originally, and still I guess have, the Irobot Roomba model 675, which is the older model. I have already reviewed this vacuum. I will put the link down below to that review if you want to check out the detailed review of this one. But spoiler alert, I loved it so much that I decided to get a second one so we can have one going downstairs and one going upstairs. So our house is just clean, clean, clean. Not really, because we still have two kids and a puppy, and my husband's not that clean. He's pretty messy. So it's still like kind of dirty, but way cleaner than it would have been if we didn't have the Irobot Roomba robot vacuum things going around our house at all times. Now, one cool thing about the Irobot Roombas is you get to name them when you connect them with the app, because they both connect to the app. This one, our older one, is named Isabella. And this one, our newer one, the E5 model, is named Princess Jax. I am not the one who named them. My daughter is. So I actually ended up calling Irobot and asking them what the difference between the two models were. They told me over the phone that I should go with this one because it has more suction, blah, blah, blah. They suckered me into it. So I decided to go with this one. They sent it to me when I got it. I was so stinking excited. I ripped the box open. It was very similar to the other model, to my first model. It doesn't really look any different. The whole setup is the same. It feels the same. The only thing is that the buttons look a little bit different, and instead of it being gray over here, it's black. But other than that, it looked the same when I took it out of the box. There are some key differences though, and I will tell you about them. All right, so let's start with price on Amazon. I think they're different prices if you go directly to the website, but we are gonna compare them on Amazon. The older model, the 675, was originally $280, I believe, but it is marked down to $249 right now. The E5, however, was a whopping $380 originally, but this one is marked down as well. It is currently on sale for $299, but the prices seem to fluctuate, so it might be different when you're going and looking at it right now. I'm gonna put them down because they're so heavy, and alternating between the two of them is driving me nuts. So hold on. Did I just break my vacuum? All right, I'll keep my fingers crossed that it's okay. So another thing that I noticed that is way different on Amazon is the older model has a lot more reviews. It is way more popular with 18,500 reviews and 4.5 stars, whereas the newer model only has 4,000 reviews and 4.5 stars. But I'm thinking it's probably because of the price difference, and most people are not willing to spend that exorbitant? I always have problems pronouncing these words. These crazy prices for these vacuums, so they go with the cheaper model. So I have been using both of these for weeks now, probably over a month, so I have a pretty good idea of what the differences are between these two products. The first being the suction. So the newer model, the E5, is supposed to have 5 times greater suction. That's what it advertises. I don't know if it's exactly 5 times, but I do notice a huge difference. It does pick up a lot more stuff than the older model, which also happens to be a problem sometimes because it picks up bigger things like toys. If my daughter leaves out Barbie shoes, it picks up everything and it gets jammed a little bit more often because of the amount of stuff it is constantly picking up. The older model doesn't really have that problem. It doesn't get jammed as often because it doesn't have enough suction power to pick up those bigger items. So as long as you keep your house relatively clean in the sense that you pick up little tiny toys or crayons and stuff like that, then you should be fine. And the more powerful suction is actually a good thing. This is why I typically run it after the kids go to sleep at night so that I could go around, pick everything up off the floor that needs to be up off the floor, and then it can go around and nothing will get suctioned into it and stuck in there. However, it is really easy to clean out if something does get stuck in there. It stops, it gives you a little notification either on your phone or you can hear it, and you just go pull it apart, take it out, and then start it again. Now, my favorite difference about these two models is the bristles. The older model actually has these bristles that kind of look like a hairbrush, so stuff gets stuck in it so often, and it's way harder to clean out these bristles. You can see right here, I haven't cleaned it. There is just like hair and nastiness stuck in there, and I usually have to take it out and get a scissors and cut stuff out of it and try not to cut the bristles off. It's like a disaster. However, this one, I mean, it still does have like hair stuck in it and stuff like that, but it is made out of rubber, which makes it so much easier to take apart and clean. You could run this underwater. If something gets stuck in there, you could just cut it out and you don't have to worry about cutting the bristles. This is way easier to me, and this is like the biggest upgrade. Now, even though the buttons look a little bit different on each one of the Roombas, they both do the same things and have the same kind of buttons. One of them is just on and off. One of them is dock if you want to send it back to its home. And the other one is spot if you want it to concentrate on a localized area and not go all around your house, then you can do that, which I never use that feature, but they both have that. Another thing that's different is the chamber where the dirt is collected. One of them seems smaller than the other, but that might just be because of the filter. I'll show you. This one you take off by pressing the top button and it comes off, which is also why I just dropped my vacuum, because I pressed this top button and it just fell and dropped. So that might be a negative thing, but I mean, I never had a problem up until this very second. So here is the chamber for the older model. You can see it looks relatively big, but there's also the filter that's in there that you could take out and put in. That takes up a lot of space, so it might not actually be bigger. This one does not have the button on top. Instead, it's a button on the side that you press and then it just pops out like that. Now this chamber looks smaller than the other one. Here, I'll show you the comparison, right? It looks smaller than the other one, but it might not actually be smaller because the filter is not inside. The filter is on the side over here. I mean, honestly, I haven't really personally seen a difference between these two. It's not like this one gets full a lot faster than this one. Plus, I empty them out after they run each time. So there's not that much of a difference when it comes to the chambers. They just look different. So like I said, the newer one gets stuck and needs assistance more often because it has a greater suction. And so it sucks up more stuff, including like bigger things. But in actuality, this one gets stuck and needs assistance more often, just like when it thinks it's on the edge of a cliff. That hasn't happened with the newer model yet. I feel like the technology is better on the newer model than it is on this older model. There has been a couple of times where Isabella has shut off, sent me a notification that she needs help because she's stuck on a cliff, and she has just stopped in front of the stairs and like has no idea where to go. This one, on the other hand, has not done that yet. Princess Jax is a little bit smarter. Shh, I shouldn't say that out loud. I don't want to hurt their feelings. But speaking about their intelligence, they are both supposed to find their way back to their docking station at the end, dock themselves so that they can charge. This one Isabella, the older one, the one that's not so bright and probably even worse off now because I dropped her, very rarely finds her way back to the docking station and docks herself and charges. More times than not, she is somewhere in the vicinity of the docking station and then just runs out of charge or runs out of battery before she even finds herself back to the dock. Plus, whenever I go to put her on the dock, it takes some maneuvering for me to get her in the right positioning so that she starts to charge again. Is it weird that I keep referring to her as a she? I have no idea, just based on her name. Princess Jax, on the other hand, almost always finds her, his, whatever, way back to the docking station. And it is way easier for this guy to maneuver its way onto that station so that it charges. I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but I don't have to worry about it because this one is pretty much always charged, and there's been a few times when the older model hasn't been charged when I want to use it and I have to wait like an hour. All right, so I think overall, those are the main big differences that I have been able to see personally since I've been using both of these for like weeks now. Here is my personal opinion. I like both of them. I think they are both wonderful. I am glad I have both of them. I wouldn't trade either of them for the world. They are both my little kitty robot vacuums. However, if you are in the market for an iRobot vacuum and you're trying to decide between these two models, I would say save the money. The differences between the two are not that extreme. That's it. That's my take on the iRobot vacuums. The comparison between the E5 and the 675, is that what this is? Yep, the 675 and the E5. But, like always, I will put the links to both of them in my description so that you can go check them out and make a decision for yourself. Plus, they would make a really good holiday gift, and the holidays are right around the corner, guys. I am also going to put the link to my whole Amazon shop because that is where I keep all the products I have ever reviewed, including all the products that I use on a day-to-day basis. So you can go check them out. If you enjoyed this video and you like review videos and you like seeing new products, then you will probably like my channel. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. You can also turn on notifications so that you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you guys again, hopefully all of you, next time, next week, next Friday for my next review. Bye.